Then releasing your hands down to the sides of the body, opening your eyes. We're starting with some half sun salutations. Taking an inhale, raising your arms up. Exhaling, folding forwards, bending the knees as you need to, crown of the head towards the floor. Inhaling to half forward bend, draw the shoulder blades back, flat back. Exhaling, folding forwards, release the neck. Inhaling, rising to standing, reach the middle fingertips up. Exhaling, taking the whole exhale breath to bring the arms back down. Inhaling, raising the arms up, conscious of Padabandha, the instep lift. Exhaling, folding forwards, bending the knees as you need, ribcage close to your thighs. Inhaling to half forward bend, collarbones broad. Exhaling, folding forwards again, release the neck. Inhaling, rising to standing, ground the feet, lift the insteps. Exhaling, arms alongside the body. Inhaling, raising your arms up. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, half forward bend. Exhaling, full forward bend. Inhaling, rising up, grounding the feet, reaching the fingertips. Exhaling, bringing the arms back down. One more time. Inhaling, raising the arms. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling to half fold. Exhaling to full fold. Inhaling, rising to standing, reaching high. Exhaling, arms alongside the body, adding some lunges. Inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, folding forward, sitting bones lift. Inhaling, half forward bend on fingertips or hands to shins. Exhaling, stepping back into downward dog. Inhaling, raise the right leg behind you. Exhaling, float it forwards to lunge position. Ground the ball of the back foot. Inhale the arms up, reaching high. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, lifting the left leg high behind you. Exhaling, bringing it forwards, lunge position. Inhaling, front knee stays bent low, arms rise. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, rock forwards to plank. Exhaling with control, lower all the way down to the floor, point the toes back. Low cobra, inhaling, gripping the fingertips in, pulling the hands back. Exhaling, chin to the floor. Inhaling, low cobra, keeping the elbows in, shoulder blades squeezed together. Exhaling, chin to the floor. Moving the hands back slightly towards the waist. Inhale all the way to upward dog, thighs hover. Exhaling over the toes into downward dog and breathe. Bringing the chin in slightly towards the chest, looking towards the navel, drishti, gazing pointed navel. Press down through the mound of the index finger, push forwards, lift the sitting bones high and take deep inhale breaths into the side ribs, keeping the breath full and expansive. Looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, stepping or jumping to half forward bend, fingertips or hands to shins. Exhaling, full forward bend, chin in. Inhaling, rising up, arms over the head, lift the insteps. Exhaling, bring the arms slowly back down. Same pattern again, inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, folding, full forward fold, ribcage as close to the thighs as you can. Inhaling to half forward bend, draw the shoulder blades back. Exhaling, stepping back into downward dog. Inhaling, right leg lifting high behind you. Exhaling, forwards to lunge. Inhaling, raising the arms, strong action in the feet. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, lifting the left leg high behind you. Exhaling, bringing left foot forwards to lunge. Inhaling, press through the ball of the back foot, front foot presses forwards. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, rock forwards to plank. Exhaling, elbows in as you lower through chaturanga to the belly, point the toes back. Inhaling, low cobra. Exhaling, chin, chest down. Inhaling, low cobra. Pull the hands back, elbows in. Exhaling, chin down. Hands to the lower ribs. Inhale to upward dog, collarbones broad. Exhaling, back into downward dog and finding your breath again. Thinking about activating the feet, pressing through the balls of the feet. Pull the feet towards the back of the mat as you lift the sit bones high. If you've got straight legs, engage the front thigh muscles, quadriceps. Maybe even lifting the toes or making that action as if you're lifting the toes off the floor. Looking forwards between the thumbs. With your inhale, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale, fold the rib cage to the thighs, chin in. Inhaling, rising to standing, reach the middle fingertips. Exhaling, stay engaged through the feet as you bring the arms down. One more time, same pattern, inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, full forward fold, sitting bones lift, crown down. Inhaling, half forward fold, drawing the shoulder blades back, chest forwards. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, right leg lifting high. Exhaling, forwards with the right foot to lunge. Inhaling, raising the arms up, try reaching the fingertips back. Exhaling, back into downward dog. Inhaling, left leg lifts high. Exhaling, floating it forwards to lunge. Inhaling, rising up with the arms. Exhaling, back into downward dog. Inhaling, rock forwards to plank. Exhaling, keep the body engaged all the way to the floor, point the toes back. Inhale, low cobra, try pressing the tops of the feet down. Exhaling, chest, chin down. Inhaling, low cobra, pubic bone, feet pressing down. Exhaling, chin to the floor. Hands back towards the waist, inhaling to upward dog, broaden the collarbones. Exhaling, back into downward dog, releasing the back of the neck, chin in. Activating equally through both hands, both feet, hands pushing forwards, feet pulling back, lifting the sit bones. And as you exhale, engage the bandha. Even the lift of the instep, still grounding through the balls of the feet. And the hollowing out of the lower abdomen, the navel in. With your inhale, breath, feel a broadening of the upper back. Looking forwards between the thumbs with an inhale breath. Step or jump, half forward bend, draw the shoulder blades back. Exhaling, ribcage close to thighs, chin in. Inhaling, rising up, press the feet down as you reach through the fingertips. Exhaling, bringing the arms back down alongside the body. Traditional Surya Namaskar A, inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, folding forwards, releasing the back of the neck. Inhaling to half forward bend, drawing shoulder blades back. Exhaling, step or jump back to plank and lower to chaturanga. Inhale through onto the tops of the feet, upward dog. Exhale over the toes, downward dog, focusing on your breath, equanimous action of the hands and the feet. Starting to really engage Bandha with the exhale breaths. Now as you ground through the balls of the feet and try lifting the insteps, maybe even lifting the toes at the same time, it'll help to engage the muscles at the front of the legs, release the muscles at the back of the legs. And looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend, drawing shoulder blades back, chest forwards. Exhaling, rib cage close to the thighs, release the neck. Inhaling, rise into standing, ground the feet, reach up. Exhaling, arms alongside the body, same thing again, Surya Namaskar A, inhaling, raising your arms. Exhaling, folding, sitting bones lifting, crown reaches for the floor. Inhaling, half forward bend, draw the shoulder blades back. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back to plank and lowering to chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale onto the tops of the feet, press them down, upward dog. Exhaling, over the toes, downward dog, and focusing on the rhythm of your breath. Engagement of Bandha, drishti gazing point towards the navel. Looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhaling, ribcage to the thighs, fall forward bend. Inhaling, rising to standing, reaching high, looking up. Exhaling, bringing the arms back down, traditional Surya Namaskar B, sitting into Utkatasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the ribcage onto the thighs, then lift the sitting bones to help straighten the legs. Inhale to half forward bend. Exhale, step or jump back, plank, chaturanga. Inhale onto the tops of the feet, upward dog, broaden the collarbones. Exhaling back to downward dog, turning the left heel to the midline, grounding it, right foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, right side. Exhales back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, right heel to the midline, left foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, left side. Exhale, back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog and breathe. They're building some heat and energy with Surya Namaskar B. James had got the fire on when I got home, so it's absolutely boiling hot in here. So if you're starting to heat up, I'm fully with you with that. And looking forwards between the thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhaling, ribcage close to the thighs, lengthen the neck, sitting into Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, arms back down, back to Tadasana standing. Same thing again, inhaling, sitting low, raise the arms high, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, ribcage to the thighs, then tip the sitting bones to the ceiling, crown down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, step or jump back to plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, left heel to the midline, right foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, right side. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, right heel to the midline, left foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, left side. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog, collarbones broad. Exhale, downward dog, bringing the chin in. Finding the equanimous rhythm of the breath, activating bandhas with your exhale. Lift of the instep, lift of the pelvic floor, navel back towards the spine. Maybe even cinching the side waist in with those exhale breaths. That action of cinching in the side waist tends to activate Uddiyana Bandha, the drawing of the navel in just a little bit more. And then looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhaling, ribcage close to the thighs, chin comes in. Sitting into Utkatasana, inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, stay in Utkatasana, bring the hands into prayer position in front of the chest. Taking a few breaths here, press the mounds of the thumbs together, squeeze the inner thighs, try lifting your toes and sitting down a little bit lower. Keep that squeeze of the inner thighs, the lift of the chest, the broadening across the collarbones. And think about activating Bandha with the exhale, drawing the navel in, maybe even cinching in the sideways. See if that helps with the squeezing of the inner thighs. Take another inhale breath, and then exhale, sit down into a squat and lift the feet, coming into bent knee Navasana boat pose. For a few breaths, thinking about lifting the chest, broadening the collarbones with your inhale, and with your exhale, drawing the skin of the back down, keeping the neck long, each squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Again, you might activate that action of the bandha, squeezing the side waist in, drawing the navel in with those exhale breaths. One more inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, cross the legs, rock forwards and step back into plank. Holding it in plank, press down through the mounds of the thumbs, pads of the index fingers, and feel like you're, without actually moving the hand, trying to turn the right hand slightly clockwise, left hand slightly anti-clockwise. Keep pressing the floor away, broaden the upper back. Take another inhale and then rock forwards through Chaturanga all the way down onto the belly. Point the toes back, take the arms to the side, palms to the floor. With your inhale breath, press into the hands, lift the front heads of the shoulders, the chest and the chin. Few breaths here, pressing into the tops of the feet. Try and bring the pubic bone down towards the floor. And again, with your exhale breaths, think about drawing the navel in, cinching in the sideways. And as you press into the hands, feel like you're trying to pull them slightly towards the body, and still lifting the front heads of the shoulders. One more inhale breath. Then exhale, chin to the floor, hands alongside the lower ribs. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Inhaling the right leg in the air behind you. Exhale, rock forwards to plank with the leg lifted. Take an inhale there, stretch the right toes for the back wall. Exhale and bring the right knee towards the upper right arm. Again, pressing the floor away with the hands, broadening between the shoulder blades. Ground through the ball of the left foot and firm that left leg. Take another inhale and then exhale, foot forwards to lunge. Keep your left hand on the floor, raise the right arm up, coming into a simple twist. But while you're here, activate the ball of the back foot, swing that outer right hip back towards the midline of the mat. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, draw the navel in, then inhale yourself up into twisted lunge. Keep bending the front knee low, reach that right arm back behind you, draw the front head of that shoulder back, slight external rotation of your right arm. Take another inhale breath there, exhale, hands into prayer, keeping the twist. Inhale, broaden the chest. Exhale, left upper arm to the outside of the right thigh. Keep pressing into the ball of the foot, back foot. Keep squeezing the outer right hip back towards the midline. As you press the mound of the right thumb into the mound of the left thumb, if you can engage that left upper arm more against the leg, leverage for your twist. And with an inhale breath, lift it back up, twisted lunge, arms extended. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to downward dog. With your inhale, rock forwards to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog, broaden the collarbones. Exhale to downward dog. Inhaling the left leg in the air behind you. Exhale, rock forwards to plank with the leg lifted. Take an inhale, stretch the toes for the back wall. Then exhale, left knee towards your upper left arm. Press through the mounds of the thumbs. Try and broaden the upper back. Press through the ball of the right foot, firm the right leg. One more inhale, then exhale, left foot forwards. Keeping the right palm grounded, lift that left arm up. And again, as you press through the right hand, without actually moving the hand, feel like you're trying to turn it slightly clockwise. Now, as you make that action, that external rotation of the right arm, feeling the front head of that shoulder move back. Same time, you might get the shoulder blade of the left arm to move a little bit more into the back and open the chest. Now add the connection through the ball of the right foot. Swing the air to left hip in. As you take an inhale breath, rise into twisted lunge. Stretch the left arm back. Slight external rotation so the front head of that shoulder moves back. One more inhale breath. Then exhale, hands into prayer. Broaden across the collarbones with an inhale. Then exhale, right upper arm to the outside of the left thigh. And notice if the back leg has become lazy. Ground through the ball of that right foot. Swing the air to left hip in. Press the end of the left thumb into the right thumb. And feel like you're moving the front head of that left shoulder back. And taking an inhale breath, rising, extending the arms. Exhale, hands to the floor, back to downward dog. With your inhale, rock forwards to plank. Exhale, all the way through chaturanga onto the belly point, the toes back, take the arms to the sides, palms down. Pressing into the hands. Inhale, lift the front heads of the shoulders, the chest and the chin. Now activate the feet, press the tops of the feet down. Press the pubic bone down as you exhale, drawing the navel in, cinching in the side waist. Press into the hands and draw the hands a little bit towards the body without them actually moving. One more inhale, then exhale, chin to the floor, hands alongside the lower ribs. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog and breathe. And while you're breathing, still thinking about the expansion of the upper back, strong grounding through the hands of the thumbs, pads of the fingers. And that engagement of the balls of the feet into the mat, feeling like you're pulling them towards the back of the mat as you extend the heels down. And think about lifting the toes, lifting the insteps. And looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale, fold the ribcage to the thighs, reach the crown of the head for the floor. Sitting into Utkatasana. Inhale, raise the arms up and hold it there. As you hold it there, if you've not got your feet together, try bringing them together as close as you can. And you reach the fingertips for the ceiling, lift your toes, squeeze the inner thighs and sit down as low as you can without the chest dropping. And think about bringing your palms together as you squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the palms. One more inhale breath. Then exhale, fold forwards, lift the sitting bones high. Inhale, back into Utkatasana, raise the arms up, try squeezing the palms. Exhale, forwards into full forward bend, sitting bones lift. Inhale, back into Utkatasana, holding Utkatasana, bring the hands into prayer in front of the chest. A few more breaths here. Press the hands of the thumbs towards each other. Broaden across the collarbones. Think about cinching in the side waist and drawing in the navel with your exhale breath.
And one more inhale, lift and broaden across the chest. Exhale, bring the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh and press the palms. See if you can shuffle that upper arm a little bit lower. And keep pressing the palms, and not to swing the right hip out to the right side, but bring it back to the midline. As you exhale, draw the navel in. And then thinking about where you're connected. So you're connected to your left leg with the right arm. Step the right foot back behind you into lunge. Press through the ball of that foot. Swing your outer left hip in. Keep pressing the ends of the thumbs together. Draw the front head of that left shoulder back. And step that right foot back forwards again. Squeeze the inner thighs and come back to forward facing Utkatasana chair pose. Take an inhale, then exhale, left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Press the right palm down, see if you can shuffle that left arm a little bit lower. Keep turning the chest, swinging the outer left hip back in towards the midline. And then thinking about that connection again, you're connected to the right leg, so step the left leg back behind you into lunge. Once you're there, pressing through the ball of the left foot, swing the outer right hip in. Keep pressing the mounds of the thumbs together, draw the front head of that right shoulder back. Then step that left foot back forwards, turning into forward facing Utkatasana. Squeeze your inner thighs, lift and broaden the collarbones. One more inhale breath, and exhale, sitting down through your squat, bent knee Navasana. Now again, lift the chest. Feel like you're moving the shoulder blades down the back and lengthening your neck. Keep squeezing the inner thighs. And take the right arm to the outside of your left leg. Left arm out to the side and extend your right leg forwards. Heel hovering off the floor. Flex the toes back, draw the right shoulder blade down the back to press that right arm strongly into the outside of the left leg. And draw that right leg back in, arms frame the legs, and take your left arm to the outside of the right thigh. Right arm out to the side. Extend the left leg, flex the toes back so you're engaging the muscles at the front of the leg. Draw the left shoulder blade down the back so you're really pressing that left arm into the right leg. And draw the left knee back in. Arms come back to frame the legs. With an inhale breath, lift the chest. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down. And opening the knees, bring the arms to the inside of the legs. Keep the base of the big toe and the inner heel connected. Press the arms into the legs and at the same time, squeeze your legs into your arms. Keep thinking about lifting the lower breastbone up, drawing the shoulder blades down. Then crossing your legs, rock forwards, hands to the floor and step back into a plank. Press the floor away through the mounds of the thumbs. Press through the balls of the feet and feel like you're lengthening your tailbone towards your heels. Take another inhale and then exhale through chaturanga all the way to the floor. Point the toes back, take the arms back out to the sides, palms down. With an inhale, press into the hands, lift the front heads of the shoulders, chest, chin. And press into the tops of the feet, engage the legs. Try and press the pubic bone down. And again, as you exhale, draw the navel in, cinch in the side waist. And just gauge how much power you want to put into that. So as we make that action, we're helping to engage the whole circle around the core. Keep pressing into your hands. One more inhale and exhale, chin to the floor, hands alongside the lower ribs. And with an inhale, all the way to upward dog. Exhale, back into downward dog. Bring your chin in towards your chest. See if you can steady your breath. Standing the side ribs, the upper back with the inhale. Engaging bandha with the exhale. And maybe experimenting through a few breaths with the lift of the insteps, the hollowing out of the lower abdomen,
the drawing in of the navel and the cinching in of the side waist. And you'll be trying them separately with different breaths. And looking forwards between your thumbs. With an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale and fold the ribcage onto the thighs, sitting into Utkatasana. Inhale, raise your arms up and hold it there. Again, try bringing the palms together, even if that just means bringing the hands forwards in front of the face. Squeeze your inner thighs, lift your toes, sit down lower. As you exhale, draw the navel in and then try squeezing the palms a little bit more together. And if you can lift them up a bit again, and do that. One more inhale breath. Then exhale, fold onto the thighs, lift the sitting bones, crown down. Inhale, come back to Utkatasana. And while you're in your Utkatasana, see if you can hop your feet apart to hip width distance, knees to hip width distance, taking a little jump. Still sitting into Utkatasana, you can separate the hands if you've got them together. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, turn your toes out and sit down into a squat. Press the ends of the thumbs towards each other. Toes are out to the side. You can be up on the toes if the heels don't come down. Press the upper arms into the inner thighs and squeeze the legs in onto the arms. Then with an exhale, come back to a forward fold, bring the toes forwards. And with your inhale, back into a squat. Exhale, bring toes forwards, fall forward, fold. Inhale, back into a squat, hold it there. Couple of breaths, then rock forwards onto the hands, knees as high up the arms as you can, elbows bend, tip forwards, grip the fingertips in, and see if you can lift your feet into a crow pose. Just experimenting with that, squeeze those legs in onto the arms, pull the elbows backwards, grip the fingertips in, look forwards, and then jump it back into a plank. Now as you're into the plank, over onto the outer edge of the right foot, lift the left arm up. If you want to take that a little bit further, lift the left leg up. Now think about grounding through the right thumb and that slight clockwise rotation of that hand. And then bring the left leg down. If it's lifted, left hand to the floor and rock it over to the other side, right arm up. Really pressing strongly through the outer edge of the left foot. That's like anti-clockwise rotation of the left hand. And if you want to lift the right leg up, lift the right leg up. Flex the toes back to help engage the muscles of the leg. One more inhale and back into a plank. And from your plank, rock it back into downward dog. You can step the feet slightly forwards if it feels more comfortable. And lift the right leg up in the air behind you. Turn towards the right side, look under the right armpit, open the right hip out to the side. Then bend the right knee and drop your right heel over towards the left buttock. Ground through the left ball of foot. Feel that you're lifting the left quadriceps. And re-straighten the leg, re-square the hips to the floor and rock forwards into a plank with the leg lifted. Bend the right knee, bring it towards your upper right arm. Then take it over towards the upper left arm. And extend that right leg out to the side and lift your left arm up into fallen triangle. Ground through the right mound of thumb. Try and spiral again, that hand slightly clockwise. If you want to take it a little bit further, left heel to the floor, right leg lifts. Pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. And left hand to the floor, swing that right leg back up behind you and bring it back to the floor, downward dog. Couple of breaths in downward dog. Lifting the left leg up in the air behind you. Open the left hip, look under the left armpit, bend the left knee, drop the heel over towards the right buttock. Ground through the ball of your right foot, lifting the right quadriceps, lifting the left knee as high as you can. And then re-straighten the left leg, re-square the hips towards the floor and rock forwards into a plank with the leg lifted. Bend the left knee, bring it towards your upper left arm. Then take it over to your upper right arm. Take the leg out to the side extended and lift your right arm up. Again, get that anti-clockwise spiraling of the hand. If you want to take it further, right heel to the floor, left leg lifts. And right hand to the floor, swing that left leg back up in the air behind you and bring it back into downward dog. Pushing forwards through the hands, sitting bones lift, ground through the balls of the feet, extend the heels down. And then look forwards between your thumbs and wrapping the elbows in towards each other. Bend your elbows halfway to the floor. And then re-straighten the arms, downward dog. Look forwards again between the thumbs, wrapping the elbows in towards each other. Bend them halfway down towards the floor. Re-straighten the arms, chin in, downward dog. Looking forwards again, wrap the elbows in and then bring them all the way down to the floor so that you're in dolphin pose. Check that the elbows pretty much in line with your shoulders. Push down through the elbows and take the chest back, sitting bones lift. And walk the feet in. Well, you can walk them in a little bit, but don't walk them in too much. And then ground through the balls of the feet and lift your toes. Keep that action of pressing forwards through the elbows. And walk the feet back a little bit and rock forwards into a forearm plank. Keep pressing through the elbows. Press the elbows slightly out towards the side of the mat. Ground through the balls of the feet. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Draw the navel in with your exhale breath. One more inhale. And then exhale, come onto the belly and into Sphinx pose. Point your toes back. Press into the tops of the feet. Press the pubic bone down towards the floor, and as you press the elbows in, feel like you're pulling them towards the back of the mat. So you're lifting the lower part of the breastbone, shoulder blades are drawing down, elbows are grounded and pulling back. Drawing in the navel and cinching in the side waist with your exhale breath. And bringing your chin to the floor with an exhale breath, hands alongside the lower ribs. Inhale to upward dog, collarbones broaden, hip bones draw forwards. Exhale over the toes into downward dog. Breathe. Lift the right leg up in the air behind you. Exhale and bring it forwards to lunge. Coming up onto your fingertips, keeping the back foot in a lunge position for now. Think about lengthening the rib cage so that you're lengthening, drawing the chest forward. So as you grip the fingertips into the floor, feel like you're pulling them towards the back of the mat as you draw the chest forwards. Now keep that action and then straighten the front leg. The rib cage might lift off the leg, but keep that action of pressing the fingertips into the floor, or hands on bricks if you've got them on bricks. Feel like you're pulling towards the back of the mat to help draw the shoulder blades down. Look down towards your big toe or even towards your knee to keep the back of the neck long. And re-bend that front knee. And hopping the left foot slightly forwards, turn the heel towards the midline and ground the heel. Press down into the heel and into the outer edge of the foot and feel like you're trying to spiral that inner left thigh back. So there's almost a feeling of trying to draw your left toe over towards the right side of the mat. Press into the fingertips or the hands into the bricks again and draw your chest forwards. Keep that action and re-straighten your front leg. As you draw the fingertips back, chest is moving forwards, shoulders are trying to move back away from the ears. Keep pressing into the outer edge of the back foot, and as you press forward through the front heel, lift the quadriceps. Feel like you're trying to squeeze your outer right hip back towards the midline of the mat. Walk your left hand over to the inside of the right foot, or the outside of the right foot if you feel stable doing that, and lift your right hand to your hip. So keep squeezing that outer right hip back towards the midline of the mat.
If you've got your palm grounded on a block, again, feel like you're trying to turn that left hand slightly anti-clockwise. Turn the chest, and if you feel stable, lift the right arm up. Keep squeezing that outer right hip in, activating the quadricep, feeling like you're drawing that thigh bone back into the hip socket. And bring your right hand to the floor, step the left hand slightly back out to the side, rebend your front knee, reach your hands forwards and hop the left leg up in the air behind you. Now don't think about lifting it too high. Take a look at the toes. Turn the toes down towards the floor, feel like you're pressing the sole of the foot into the wall behind you and engage the quadriceps on your standing leg. Now think about pressing the fingertips into the floor or the hands into the bricks, and again drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Rebending your front knee, step that left foot back behind you, take an inhale breath, raise the arms up in crescent lunge position, refirm the ball of the foot into the floor. With an exhale breath, take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, stretch the knuckles back towards the heel, bend your front knee low. As you inhale, breathe all the way up underneath the collarbones. As you exhale, try drawing the shoulder blades towards each other and lengthening your neck. Give an inhale, raise the arms up over the head. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into downward dog. Inhale, the left leg in the air behind you. Exhale and bring it forwards into lunge. Come up onto the fingertips, round through the ball of the back foot. Feel like you're pulling the fingertips towards the back of the mat and lengthening the crown of the head towards the front of the room. And straighten the front leg. Hands can be on blocks. Keep grounding through the ball of the back foot and swing your outer left hip back towards the midline of the mat. Draw up on the left quadriceps. Keep gripping the fingertips or the hands down onto the bricks and feeling like you're pulling that towards the back of the mat. Looking down towards your knee, probably to keep the back of the neck long. Then rebend your left knee. Hop your right foot slightly forwards, turn the right heel to the midline and ground it. Press into the outer edge of that foot and into the heel. Feel like you're trying to move the inner right thigh back towards the back of the room, so there's a slight internal rotation of that right leg. Then re-straighten your front leg. Swing the outer left hip back towards the midline, keep gripping into the fingers, drawing the chest forwards, lengthening the neck. Then walk your right hand over to the inside of that left foot. Lift your left hand to the hip. And now you want to squeeze that outer left hip back into the midline again. Might turn a slight clockwise action with your right hand. Turn the chest, lift the left arm up if you feel stable. Now keep activating that front leg, feeling like you're drawing the outer left hip in, lifting the quadriceps. And bring the left hand back to the floor, step the right hand back to shoulder width distance from the left. Rebend your front knee, reach your hands forwards, hop that right leg up into the air. Now don't think about lifting the right leg too high. Turn the toes down towards the floor. Engage quadriceps on the left leg. Feel like you're pressing the right foot back into the back wall. And as you grip your fingertips into the floor or the hands into the bricks, feel like you're pulling them slightly towards the back of the mat. Then rebend your front knee, step that right foot back behind you and inhale up into crescent lunge. Firm the back leg again, press the ball of the foot into the floor. Lift the chest high, feel like you're breathing all the way up underneath the collarbones. Take another inhale breath and then exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Stretch the knuckles back towards the back heel. Keep breathing all the way up underneath the collarbones. Stay firmly rooted through the ball of the back foot. Keep your left toes light. Maybe press forwards through that front foot. And you can then inhale, lift the arms back up in the air.
Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into downward dog. And lift the right leg up in the air behind you. And with your exhale breath, bring it forwards into lunge, bringing your left heel to the floor, left toes to the side. Warrior two, foot setup. And swing that outer right hip back into the midline. Reach your left arm forwards, reach it up to the ceiling and draw yourself up into warrior two. Now take a few moments in warrior two. Adjust the feet as much as you need to firm the outer left foot into the floor and bend your right knee low, keeping that right knee centered in the right foot. Feel like you're slightly externally rotating that left upper arm, even maybe turn the palm to the ceiling. Looking forwards over the right middle fingertip. If you can sit ever so slightly lower, still grounded into the outer edge of your left foot. One more inhale breath, and then exhale, right arm to the inside of your right leg. Press the arm back against the leg, press the leg into the arm. And again, that action of bringing the outer right hip back to the midline. And as you press the right arm into the leg, releasing the front head of the left shoulder. Take an inhale breath, come back to warrior two. Find your concentration, steady gaze, looking out over the right middle fingertip. And then reach forwards, hand onto the floor, hop the left leg up into the air, turning the chest out to the left side, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Now check that the right arm is quite forwards in front of the shoulder, so that the torso can stay long. Engage the quadriceps on the right leg, dorsiflex the toes on the left leg, and feel like you're pressing the sole of that foot into the wall. And if your right hand is grounded on the floor or on the blocks, try that slight turn clockwise, opening the chest a little bit more. And bending the front knee for control. Step it back elegantly into warrior two. Take an inhale in warrior two, then exhale, hands to the floor, back to downward dog. Couple of breaths in downward dog. And don't let the downward dog get lazy, fully grounded with the hands pushing the mat forwards, grounded with the feet pulling them back, extending the heels down. And that lift of the instep. Then lifting the left leg in the air behind you. Exhale it forwards into lunge and bring your right heel to the floor, right toes out to the side. Swing the outer left hip back to the midline. Reach the right arm forwards, draw an arc, fingertips towards the ceiling, and then up into warrior two. Adjust the feet as you need. Press into the outer edge of the right foot. Check that that left knee is centered in the left foot as you bend it as low as you can go. And the external rotation of the right arm, maybe even turn the palm to the ceiling. Look out over your left fingertips. And just a final little action, lift the hip points. You'll feel the right buttock muscle engage probably as you do. Take another inhale breath, draw that right arm back, then exhale the left arm down to the inside of that right leg. Hover the middle fingertip off the floor. Press the left arm into the leg. Feel like you're still swinging that outer left hip in the direction you're now facing. Stretch the right middle fingertips for the ceiling, moving the shoulder blade in onto the back. And with an inhale, lift it back into warrior two. With slow control, finding your concentration and a steady breath. Take that straight into Ardha Chandrasana, hopping the right leg up into the air. Engage the quadriceps on your left leg. Flex the right toes back. Feel like you're pressing the sole of that foot into the wall behind you. And with your left hand, feel like you're rotating it slightly anti-clockwise. Don't overdo it, but just feel the shoulder blade moving in onto the back. The ability to let the front head of the right shoulder roll back a little bit as you make that action.
And bending the left knee, step that right foot back into warrior two. Take an inhale breath and exhale back into downward dog. When you inhale, rock forwards to plank. Exhale through chaturanga all the way down onto the belly. Point the toes back, take the hands back, interlace the fingers. With your inhale breath, lifting up into this interlaced Shalabhasana locust pose. Press into the tops of the feet, press the pubic bone down. Keep stretching the knuckles back, a slight sense of external rotation of the arms and squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. So there's that lift of the front heads of the shoulders. Keep breathing all the way up underneath the collarbones with your inhale. As you exhale, draw the navel in, cinching the side waist. Keep pressing the pubic bone down. One more inhale breath. Then exhale, hands alongside the lower ribs, and inhale all the way to upward dog. Exhale over the toes into downward dog. Couple of breaths in downward dog, as active as you can make it. And looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale, fold, ribcage close to the thighs, long neck, chin in. With your inhale, with straight legs, rising up to standing, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Staying in your Tadasana, ground through the feet, lift the insteps, broaden across the collarbones, release the shoulder blades down the back. And keep that sense of lengthening the neck out of the shoulders, crown of the head towards the ceiling, and lift your right knee up in front of the right hip. Engage the left quadriceps. As you do that, you might also feel the left buttock muscle engage, and then lift the right knee as high as you can. And then tip forwards, keep engaging the left quadriceps, lifting that right knee as high as you can. Then taking your first two fingers, reach down, grab your big toe between big toe and second toe, and lift and broaden the collarbones as you keep engaging the quadriceps of the left leg. Take a couple of breaths. And think about where your thigh is, the angle of your thigh, and see if you can extend from that angle, lifting the right foot up. How you're getting the shin to move in line with the thigh. Lifting the collarbones, think about the bandhas, and then take that right leg out to the side. Steady gaze, steady breath. Bring it back to the center. And release the toe, but don't let the foot drop. Bring the hands back to the hips. And bend your knee again. Take the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Bend the knee. Take the foot back behind you. Keep engaging the quadriceps on the standing leg. Take the left hand back to frame the right foot or to come around the waist. Then press the foot into the hand. Lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Kick the foot back behind you. Think about drawing the navel in as you lift and broaden across the collarbones. Keep rolling the front heads of those shoulders back, and maybe a little squeeze of the shoulder blades towards each other. Then release that right leg down. Bring the hands into prayer for a moment. Ground through both feet. Take a couple of breaths, looking down the tip of the nose towards your middle finger. And bring your hands to your hips. Lift the left knee up in front of the left hip. So think about engaging the quadriceps on your standing leg. Broaden across the collarbones. Keep lengthening the neck out of the shoulders. Good. Lift that left knee as high as you can. And reach down with the first two fingers between the big toe and the second toe. And think about the angle of your thigh. Extend the shin from the thigh. So Gabby, are you holding with it? Yeah. I was just thinking I could sort of just about see it. I thought you might be holding with the other hand. It's an option, I suppose. We're going to go there at some point in this class. All right, so keep thinking about lifting the chest and broadening the collarbones, keeping a nice long neck as the skin of the back slides down. Take the leg out to the left side. Again, there's that feeling of the front head of the left shoulder rolling slightly back to help you lift the chest. Then bring it back to the center. Hands to the hips, let go of the toe, but keep the leg lifted. Good. Keep firming your standing leg, try and engage the quadriceps. Yeah. Then bend that knee again. And taking it back behind you, holding on to the outside of the foot. And stabilize. I realize that this is a challenging set of postures all to do in one go. Taking the other hand back to frame that, frame the left hand or behind the waist. Kick the heel away from the buttock, but lift your chest. So we're creating a back bend with the pose. So rather than squeeze the heel in towards the buttock, kick it back behind you, hold on to a wall if you need to. Yes. All right. And then release it, bring the foot to the floor, bring the hands into prayer position in front of the chest and take a few moments. The temptation after a series of balancing poses like that is to fidget around, try and bring it all into stillness instead. Gazing down the tip of the nose towards the tips of the middle fingers. Letting the gaze soften. The breath equalize. And keeping your hands in prayer position. Bending your right knee again. Take the right outer ankle onto the left thigh just above the knee, taking the knee out to the side. Variation of a tree pose. And converting that tree into a chair pose. Sit the hips back. Dorsiflexing the right foot so that leg engages. And fold forwards, bring the shins and the forearms towards each other. So if you make contact, see if you can press your right elbow into the inside of the right thigh and your left elbow into the instep. There's a slight resistance going on. And then if you want to bring your hands down to the floor and consider the arm balance, you can. Hands to the floor, elbows bend backwards, right toes wrapping around that upper arm. Grip the fingertips in, look forwards and lean forwards to see if you can lift that left foot off the floor. And wherever you are, bring it back up to standing and bring the right foot down to the floor. Find your equilibrium again, steady breath, steady gaze. And take the left outer ankle to the right thigh just above the knee, knee out to the side, dorsiflex the foot. And start to sit back into your chair pose. See if you can connect the shins and the forearms. If the shins and the forearms connect, then see if you can take your hands down to the floor. So you might only get onto the fingertips with straight arms. That's also a possibility that you can look at. Then you just keep taking that outer left thigh down towards the floor. Eventually coming to palms to the floor, wrapping those left toes around your upper arm. Elbows bend back, grip the fingertips in, look forwards, and see if you can lift your right foot up, or just even get the feeling for getting some lightness in that foot. All right, and then steadily bring it back up. Come back up to standing, left foot down to the floor. And then finding Tadasana. Broaden across the collarbones. Look down the tip of the nose towards the little fingers. Reach the top of the head for the ceiling. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. And focus on your breath. Soften the jaws away from each other. Let the tongue be soft in the mouth. And release the hands down to the sides of the body. With an inhale breath, raise your arms up.
Exhale, fold forwards, rib cage onto the thighs, chin in, crown of the head down. Inhale, draw up onto the fingertips, shoulder blades back. Exhale, step or jump back into plank. Hold it in plank for a moment, and then rock it back into downward dog. Walk the feet in slightly. Looking towards your thumbs, wrap the elbows in towards each other, and then bending the elbows, bring them down to the floor. If they aren't already at shoulder width distance, walk them in towards each other. And keeping the elbows grounded, bring your hands together, interlace the fingers and tuck the bottom little finger inside behind the other little finger. Press the forearms down, lift the sitting bones high, and then walk the feet in as close to the face as you can until the shoulders are vertical over the elbows. Press down all the way from the outer wrist to the elbows. Lift your right leg up in the air. Then if you want to take a little hop, reach that right foot up, hop the left foot off the floor, keep pressing down through the whole of the forearms, take a few little hops. Out. Then bring the right foot down, lift the left leg up in the air, reach that the left toes for the ceiling, hop the right foot off the floor, and then bring that foot down, come down to your knees, take your knees out to mat width distance, toes together, and child's pose. So Liz, I'm just going to warn you that that's 4 minutes to 8:30. So if you need to dash at 8:30, then take a few minutes in child's pose and then move into Shavasana. And even turn me off so that you can have a nice little peaceful Shavasana, because we're just going to do a few more things as long as everybody's willing.
How much longer will you be?
Oh, probably about 10 minutes-ish.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So
stay.
going to add in a few backward bends, as we've been doing a few backward bends, pigeon-based backward bends, and then a couple of other backward bends. So if you've got 10 minutes, you can stay with us. So just taking another couple of breaths in child's pose, feel like you're breathing into the back of the body. And rock up onto the knees, bring your elbows to the floor so the elbows, our forearms are at shoulder width distance. Bring your knees back into hip width distance, and we're just going to take it back from there into Sphinx. Step the knees back, point the toes back. Press your elbows down into the floor, feel like you're pulling them towards the back of the mat as you lift the lower part of the breastbone. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Now, like you're drawing the hip bones forward, so pubic bones pressing down, but as the elbows pull back, it feels like you're drawing the hip bones forwards. And take the hands out to mat width distance and straighten the arms so that you come into seal pose. If you feel like you could go into a deeper backward bend, elbows come back down, hands shuffle further back towards the back of the mat and lift and straighten the arms again. So fingertips are pointing out towards the corner of the room now. One of the few poses that we do change the hand position, allowing that external rotation of the arms. Press into the outer arms, feel like you're spiraling the biceps up towards the ceiling, broaden the collarbones, lengthen the neck, and now press into the tops of the feet again. Feel like you're drawing the hip bones forwards. As you exhale, draw the navel in, cinch in the side waist. And come back down onto your elbows. Come back into Sphinx. Tucking the toes under, still on the knees. Rock the sitting bones back and then press up into dolphin pose. Now look forwards between your thumbs. Ground through the pads of the fingers, the hand of the thumb, and lift both elbows up at the same time, coming to downward dog. Lift your right leg up in the air behind you. And then bring it forwards into pigeon position. So right knee is out towards the outside of the right hand, right foot behind the left hand.
Now, before you slide the left leg back too much, press into the hands and spiral the biceps forwards. So we've got that slight clockwise rotation of the right hand, anti-clockwise rotation of the left hand. Keep that engagement, slide the left leg back. And lifting the chest, feeling like you're lifting the lower part of the breastbone again. And then ground through the right outer shin. Feel like you're pressing it into the floor and pulling it towards the back of the mat. Ground through the left shin and feel like you're pulling it forwards, and then see if you can lift your hands off the floor. Now there's that action of pulling the right shin back, pulling the left shin forwards. Pubic bone's going to lift a little bit higher. If you feel good there, and lift the arms up in the air. Keep thinking about lifting the breastbone and grounding the legs. And see if you can take the arms down behind you. If you lifted the arms and interlace the fingers, stretch them towards that back heel. Breathe all the way up underneath your collarbones. And then bring the hands back down to the floor and release the action of the legs. Spiral the biceps forwards, broaden across the collarbones, lift the chest. And then rock forwards over the leg onto your elbows. If you're good on your elbows without it hurting the knee, bring the forehead down to the floor. Arms can be anywhere you like. You can extend them, you can bend the elbows, you could stack the hands and put the forehead onto the hands. And relax the legs and feel like you're breathing towards the outer right hip. And then walking back up onto your hands. Get the action of the hands, the spiral of the biceps forwards. Tuck your left toes under. Step yourself back into downward dog, trying to keep the arms active with that outward external rotation. Lifting the left leg up in the air behind you. Slowly bring it forwards into a pigeon position. So remember, you can adjust the shin and bring the shin more parallel towards the front of the mat, or you can move it back. Just make sure that you're not damaging the knee. Get that action in the hands, spiral the biceps forwards, and then slide that right leg back. Now this action, same action as an upward dog, getting the collarbones broad. And ground through the outer left shin, feel like you're pulling it towards the back of the mat. Front of the right shin, feel like you're pulling it towards the front of the mat, and lift up if you can. It's not necessary if you can't. You can keep the fingertips grounded, but keep that action and raise the arms up. You can try bringing the palms together, several different ways to put the arms. Reach up with an inhale, then take the arms down behind the back. Extend the knuckles towards the heel. Keep breathing all the way up underneath your collarbones. Keep the legs active, pulling the left shin back, right shin forwards. And then release it, hands to the floor. At that action for a moment, lift and broaden the chest. And then take it forwards onto the elbows and maybe down onto your forehead. And now let the legs be inactive. Feel like you're breathing towards the outer left thigh. And walk it back up onto the hands. Get the hands active, the spiral of the biceps forwards. Tuck the right toes under. Lift the right knee and swing yourself back into downward dog. Same action of the arms. Release your neck, look towards your navel. And then come down onto your knees. Once you're on your knees, lift the hands off the floor, coming into preparation for Ustrasana, camel pose. Knees can be slightly wider than hip width distance or at hip width distance. Bring the hands onto the back of the pelvis. Feel like you're pressing the lower buttocks down towards the floor. Lift your hip points. Feel the buttock muscles engage. Draw your navel in. Lift the lower part of the breastbone, and then let the front heads of those shoulders go back. So again, a slight feeling of bringing the shoulder blades towards each other. Take another inhale breath as high as you can underneath the collarbones. And as you exhale, release the head back as long as the neck is okay with that. If it's not, keep the chin in towards the chest, just creating the rest of those actions. Keep breathing through the nose, maybe emphasize your breath. Hip bones keep moving forwards, tailbone towards the floor, skin at the back is releasing. And then bring that back up to vertical. And either repeating that action or with the toes tucked under or pointed back, starting with that again. So you're lengthening the tailbone towards the knees as you press the buttocks down, lifting your hip points, draw the navel in, lift the lower part of the breastbone, release the front heads of the shoulders, head goes back. And if you want to go for the heels with the hands, then go for the heels with the hands. So once you've got the heels, try and grab the heels. So no matter how long you've been doing this pose, sometimes there's a resistance to grabbing the heels. You all right, Gabby? If you're getting any twinges, then just stay vertical with your hands in prayer. Breathing all the time through the nose. And when you're ready, coming back up and hands in prayer position in front of the chest. Chin in, looking down the tips of the nose towards the middle fingers. Now see if you can make this maneuver while you're still in this position. Lift the right knee up and wrap it around the front of the left one. So you're going to do that. Just because, you know, sometimes it's nice to control the transition. And bring your hands down to the floor so you've got control, and move that left foot slightly over to the left side. All right, so we're going to manage this slowly. See if you can gradually sit back so that you're sitting down between the heels. If that's not going to happen, readjust that front leg so that the knee comes up and the sole of the foot comes to the floor. You want both sitting bones grounded or almost grounded. Otherwise, right knee lifts. Right, so if that right knee is lifted, wrap the left elbow around it, bring the right hand down the back and turn. If you've got both knees stacked on top of each other, fold forwards, reach the hands in front of you and bring the chin in towards the chest. Those of you who've got their elbow wrapped around the knee, ground the sitting bones and lengthen the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Look for length rather than depth in the twist. Then if you're twisting, bring it back to the center. If you're folding forwards, and back up to vertical. Now we're just going to make a change. Same position, other side. Either stacking the left knee on top of the right knee, or left sole of foot to the floor. If the left sole of the foot's to the floor, wrap the right elbow around, left hand down the back, press the sitting bones down, lengthen to the crown of the head and turn. If you're stacking, then folding forwards, chin in towards the chest. See if you can squeeze that left thigh down onto the right thigh. And if you are folding forwards, think about breathing towards your lower back and outer hips and broadening that area with your inhale breath. And unravel, come back to face forwards, and choosing whichever leg is your preference, come into cross-leg position. So it might be that your cross-leg position, you're in a normal cross-leg position, just squaring the shins off as much as you can towards the front of the mat. Or if you want to come into a double pigeon pose, lift whichever heel of the leg that's in front up and place it on the lower part of your opposite thigh. So you're squaring the shins on top of each other. It's your choice as to whether you're going to be in a general cross legs or the double pigeon position. And bring your hands in prayer position in front of your chest, whether you're cross-legged or in pigeon. Press the mounds of the thumbs slightly for a moment and lift and broaden the collarbones. Release the skin of the back down, lengthen the back of the neck. Chin is slightly in. And gently closing your eyes. So with your eyes closed, soften the contact of the palms. So you're no longer pressing the mounds of the thumbs towards each other. Just focus for a moment on the connection between the fingertips. I feel that circuit of energy. Maybe slight warmth tingling in the fingertips. A lot of merging of one hand into the other. So in this Vinyasa practice, we're building the prana, the life force, the energy through working with the breath and the movement in synchronicity. And as we take a few moments just closing ourselves down to focus on the internal space, consolidating all of that we've done in the practice, feeling that energy surging through the body at the same time as a sense of relaxation, letting go and rest. And moving out of action to inaction. Savoring the practice. So as little fuss as possible. Change the cross of your legs. Change your pigeon position if you're doing pigeon. So you might have to take a hand down to help that foot come up. We ground through the sit bones, lengthen the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Let the hands softly touch. Let the thumbs touch the heart center. Just letting your breathing be natural, spontaneous. Observing the flow of the breath and the sensations in the body, checking in with the emotional tone. As you feel that sensation of the fingertips, direct that energy into the heart center. And then bow your head over your hands to connect soul to heart.